For me, my life is different, and people sometimes have a hard time grasping what that means. I grew up only knowing the Muslim faith. When I went home every day, it was, to my father, who taught me, Muslim teachings. And I went to classes every Friday and Saturday and learned how to read Arabic. I went to Sunday school with all of my Pakistani friends and, with the scarves on our heads, and that was our teachers, and that's what I knew. We would always end up sitting at the kitchen table on Easter, and my dad would sit there and explain to us what Easter meant to Christians and, what it was and was not to Muslims. I'm not sure if it was because we were older and my dad thought at that point it was our responsibility to stay close to that faith. But in about junior high, where that whole transition started to take place, it immediately just kind of fell off for me. If it wasn't my father really following up behind me and advising me on what to do to stay close to my Muslim faith, I wasn't doing anything for myself. And so that's when it really became apparent to me that I just had no identity with it, and I just had no connection. When we moved into the area, about a year ago, we started coming to Wheaton Bible Church, and I knew on certain days I wanted to be here. We wanted to be here as consistently as we could on Sundays. So it was, a regular day. It was not a regular day, it was Easter Sunday, but it was a day, I knew I wanted to be in church. We had invited a friend with us to church that day, and that day when Pastor Rob was speaking, as he spoke about a trip that he took and things that were physically happening on the earth because of God. And that to me was like, that's real, that's physical, and that's what I can hold on to. Being saved for me was a really simple moment, but profound. And I think that's why it was so important, because we just sat there in church and we started singing Amazing Grace. And my daughter looked at me as if to say, "It's okay, Mom, you can let Jesus in." And I just cried in church, and I knew from that day on, I feel Jesus with me every day. I see God at work in my life every day, and I would never have it any other way. It's peace. I have peace in my life now. I had to stand in front of my church, in front of all my friends and family, and let them know exactly what Jesus was doing for me in my life, and that Jesus was my Savior. I had to tell everybody. That was my moment to shout it from the rooftops.
Well, upon your profession of faith, I now baptize you in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.